Hi guys, it's me. Today I'm pretty much just gonna tell my first story time video because I see these all the time and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do one of those. So, yeah. Okay, so as you can see from the title, I'm going to talk about my experience with the worst teacher ever. Well, not exactly the worst teacher ever because that's not the title, but she was the worst that I have ever seen. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I got something stuck in my shirt. I can't even tell you how much I hated her. And it was not just me. It was all of my friends too, and pretty much almost everybody that had her. They did not like her at all. Obviously, I'm not going to disclose any names because I don't want it to get back to her. So forth and so on. But if I talk about it and you used to go to that school, you might know who she was because if you had that class, you know. So pretty much the moral of the story is this teacher was so bad. She could not teach. She was so mean. Just so many things that were wrong with her teaching profession kind of thing. She was my, what teacher was she? I think she was my math teacher. Yeah, she was my math teacher. And as some of my friends, my close friends may know, I have a problem with math. I am very, very bad at math. So I will take all the help I can get from that math. Whatever, that's fine. I guess she came into school one day in a pissy ass mood because she, when we got into her class, she was in a bad mood and she was kind of stomping around and sulking and stuff like that. But she wasn't our homeroom teacher because I was in 7th grade at the time. So I had different classes with everybody or all the teachers. I had history and Spanish and music and art and gym sometimes. So I had it with all different teachers, but she was my math teacher. I had her in the middle of the day when we were tired. Some days I had her in the morning, and it was really frustrating, but it depended on the day, whatever. So this particular day, she was in a very bad mood. And me and the rest of everybody else, that day, that class was in the morning. So essentially, in the work, how old were we when we were in 7th grade? 11 or 12 years old. Of course, we're going to be tired and we're not going to want to get up in the morning. That is so normal. I'm in junior year of my high school year, and I still don't want to get up now. I got an ISS for being late for school more than 4 times. Everybody is going to be late. We're tired. Get over it. It's not going to change. Okay, off topic. So we all come into school with little backpacks, all cute and stuff and whatever. So we all come in, and you can see that right off the bat, she's in a really bad mood. So we all take our seats, and we get our notebooks out, and we're ready to take notes, and she starts taking notes, and once she's done with the notes, she gives us, this homework assignment and whatever, and me, I don't know how to do it, because, like I said, I have a disability. I don't have a disability. Okay, yeah, I have a disability in math. I'm very bad at it, whatever. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't understand it. No matter how many times she explained it, I did not get it. I would need help from her to help me, because, to do a problem out with me so I could see how to do it. And I asked for help. I raised my hand, and she looks at me, and she said, Victoria, I'm like, excuse me, I need help with this. I don't know what I'm doing still. Even if you explained it, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, well, you need to ask somebody else for help. Excuse me? Why don't you ask somebody else in the class for help? I'm busy. What? What was that? You're busy? You ask somebody else for help? I don't think so. No, you're the teacher. It's your job to help a student that doesn't know what they're doing. Ask somebody else for help. No, I don't think so. No. Of course, I was sitting next to my best friend, and I look at her, and she looks at me and shakes her head. Like, no, that's not okay. You don't, if a kid is failing your class repeatedly, it is your job to figure out why. She did not care at all. So, that was a bad day. I went home and I told my mother, and she was livid. She was so mad. Like, she said the same thing I said. If your student is failing your class multiple times, there is clearly a problem there. And we had that teacher the whole year. That's not like my school now where we have 4 blocks in one semester and then the other 4 in the second semester, whatever. We have her for like 4 months. That's it. No, I had her for the whole year. I was constantly failing her class. I never had gotten any help from her because she was a bad teacher. I hated her so much. So a few weeks after this happened, my mom was still furious. So she told me, well, okay, we'll get you a tutor. That tutor helped me very well because she was a bad teacher. She couldn't teach me anything. So I go to the tutors every day. I think it was like 2 or 3 times a week, whatever. And my grades started to boost up. So I don't know, like, I guess she came in and had like a really pissy day again. And we come into her class, and on this day, it's like we have to come to her class in the middle of the day because of the class rotation that we had. So we went in, we sat down, got out our notebooks, took out our notebooks, ready to take notes after she gave us work, blah, blah, blah. Someone asked her for help, and once again, she told them to ask somebody else for help, and I'm just sitting there like, really, this is happening again? No, something needs to change. So I went home that same day, and I told my mother again, and she's like, okay, something needs to change. I think I'm going to email the principal. So I don't know if she did or not, but that's whatever. Somebody just texted me. Whatever. Okay, so the next day, hello, whatever. Okay, so I go in the next day, and once again, she's in a pissy mood. She seems to have a bad life. Bad life. She's always in a bad mood. She's so mean. So we came in, once again, sat down, took out our notebook, took notes, got homework, and somebody asked her for help, and she got up, and she went to the front of the room, and she actually did another problem on the board. And then somebody else asked her for help. And another person asked her for help. And then another person asked her for help. And she totally lost her shit. She lost her mind. She goes stomping over to the big wooden door. It's like huge. Like my door. But like half. Well, like 2 more, but like, there's half of another one of my doors. That's how big it was. And it was very heavy, and it was wooden, and you slam that door, the whole state could probably hear it. So she takes that door handle, and she slams that door so hard. And she looks at everybody, and she says, "You're pissing me off." We all sunk so far down into our seats, we probably would have fell through the floor if we went down anymore. We were terrified. One of the teachers next door actually came in to see what was going on. And she went out in the hallway with her and started talking to her. And we could see her talking to the other teacher through the door, the glass in the door. Like, And the other teacher was looking like she was feeding into it. She probably told her that we were not listening and we wouldn't stop talking. And because the other teacher came in the room after that teacher did, and she's like, "Oh, Bubba, you need to behave." We need to behave because we asked for help? What? Are you kidding me? This teacher was terrible. Everybody hated her. So I went home and I told my mother, and she was even more furious than when I told her that she told me that I had to get somebody else to help me. She was livid. She was so pissed off. So I went to after school every day from like 3 to 5 when my mom would come get me, whatever, and she was there, and I was sitting at the table with that teacher doing my math homework, and she was being surprisingly nice, and I was kind of scared because she was being nice. And then I realized it was because my mother pulled up into the driveway. So my mother comes down and she sits at the table while she's sitting there doing homework with me. And she, like, the teacher's, like, being honest. "Oh, hi, Miss Maloney, blah, 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 blah." Bitch, shut up. My mother sees right through you. I was 12 years old. Why would she not believe me when I come home with a story like that? You cannot play my mother. No. Just no. Don't even try that. So my mother sits there and she's like, she's looking at me and she's looking at the teacher and she's looking at my homework, and the teacher's like, "Oh, I'm just helping her with her homework. She didn't understand something, blah, 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 whatever." And my mother's like, "Yep, that's okay. You can finish that." So we do, and then I go inside and I get my stuff, and I come back out, and my mom is standing up at the top of the hill waiting for me to come get in the car. So I do, and she's like, "I'm gonna beat that teacher down." And of course, I'm like, "Oh, that's funny, whatever." So I start laughing, and I thought she was kidding. She was actually serious. She was dead serious. She's like, "She's a terrible teacher. You shouldn't have to have her, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't want to cross me. She's messing with the wrong mother." Let me tell you, to this day, my mom has actually had bail money put away for that teacher in case something ever happened again where they had to have a smackdown. They had to have... That was the best. The best thing ever. I thought she was kidding, but she was actually dead serious. I was like, "Great, Mom. That's great." So yeah, that's my story. Oh yeah, and to this day she still has that money put away in case something else ever happens with another teacher. Which most likely almost happened. But that's something for another time. So, and talking about this makes me think of, like, the best story time ever for tomorrow. Like, I love it. It's awesome. You guys are gonna love it. It's so funny. So, yeah. That was my story time. I hope you liked it. Bye!